Hello! Thank you very much for joining me. My name is Fabled Narrative, and let's get right into this. Well, we have a bit of an interesting thing. Somebody recommended me Hello Future Me, the YouTube channel, that has a lot of Korra content out there. There was an idea that I had recently about, actually not just recently, but repeatedly, have mentioned that I think that the Legend of Korra series has rushed the technology too quickly. Somebody recommended this channel, and they actually explained why it was actually some of those technologies that were in the past in the last Avatar were actually much more advanced than the quote-unquote 19 or the 1800s in our era. And because they have magic, I'm summing it all up in my own words, because they have quote-unquote magic, they can actually do a bunch of things that we can't, and that could quickly develop some technologies, even technologies that we are not able to do in our world. Absolutely makes sense. I still think that it was rushed. Not because in the world, but for the development process. Again, I would love to have a middle series in the with Aang. If even within the Aang's within the last Avatar series, you could have it where the technology that we have in Avatar Korra could actually be at the exact same level, which it is, some areas, in Aang's final days. I mean, like in his adult years, and then we can have an even more advanced technology in this new era with the spirits in combination, etc. With the spirits in the spirit world, physical world in combination. But it was just one of those personal critiques that it just didn't make any sense to me. Now it makes sense to me, fantastic. But here's the issue. Hello Future Me has produced a video that I just disagree with. It's not just that I disagree with, I think it is absolutely wrong. There's one statement that you can see at the bottom of the video in the captions. It says he is stating that he has his own critiques about the beginnings with the Avatar Legend of Korra series. And that's the one that goes all the way back to the very first Avatar that combines the light spirit, I don't remember her name, into the Avatar 1, and he becomes the first Avatar. Well, there's something that he says in this, not 1, but Hello Future Me. He says, they're canon, okay? You just can't say, hey, Legend of Korra is not canon for me. It is not, it is. You don't get a choice in that fact, or in that matter. And the issue is, it doesn't matter whether or not it's canon. It's whether or not it's good. It's whether or not it's believable. It's whether or not it still has the continuity of the original series. You can have a lot of creativity, yes, but if it breaks a lot of the canon, if not one fundamental major part of the original canon, of the original content, The Last Airbender, then it seems to be its own universe, regardless of whether or not it is canon. I don't consider it to be canon, not because the original creators came out and said, hey guys, because we created The Last Airbender, this new series, Legend of Korra, is canon. They can say it. Doesn't mean that it's good. If it breaks into the universe, well, okay. Because I don't think of it to be original. I don't consider it to be canon. I consider it to be official fan fiction. Fan fiction is great. If you consider this to be official fan fiction, one great example is that Toph becoming the military, developing the military police. Her personality as being a child and being an adult are the exact same. But they retcon her type of personality and what the type of thing that she would be developing. That doesn't make any sense. Why would somebody who's always about, hey, let me live my own life, I want to have my own rules, be the one that's actually going to be the enforcer, telling other people what they have to do? Oh, that's just harmonic. Well, that you can have something related to that, but that's just an incredible, like, night and day transition. What transition for her to be like, you know what, I was absolutely wrong. Goes out and does it, and then 30, 40, 50 years later, I'm going to go back to my original state of who I was when I was younger. People usually don't do that. It's weird. Like, what? That's one great example that I think this is official fan fiction, not original content. I'm going to be doing the entire video, but I'm just going to be doing this one little recording, and I am going to be covering the entire video because it's literally just this one little quote of, they're canon, okay? You just can't say, hey, Legend of Korra is not canon for me. It is. You don't get to have that choice. And it's regardless of what Disney Trilogy Star Wars is an abomination because it retcons many things. I would think it's a really good thing they could have done is to kill off Han Solo by having Ben Solo, Han Solo's son, kill him. It's not that, but the thing is, like, he's a bad father. It's like, well, why'd you make him a bad father? What? Okay. Again, they sort of just mishandle it, but that's a personal preference. But the issue that is objective, that cannot be refuted, or irrefuted, I don't know which one it is that the Disney Star Wars trilogy had three different goals in mind. They had J.J. Abrams, Rian Johnson, J.J. Abrams. J.J. Abrams came in with The Force Awakens, and Rian Johnson came in with what seems to be an incredible abomination of an entire series, retconning many things because because of the practical application of sending a ship into into a fleet of ships and destroying it. Why would there be space battles ever? That's again the stupid. It's just. If you want to take care of somebody, why have a Death Star if you can just ram into a planet? Really? That's one example. Princess Leia or Commander Leia flying through space. Again, it's either you kill her off or she continues living. I'm okay with either of those things. It doesn't make sense that she can survive in space. Oh, Jedi stuff. Okay. Wow, that's powerful. Like, she's the most powerful Jedi in the entire existence of anyone, having survived the vacuum of space, including an explosion, and holding her breath for 3-4 minutes after an impact like that. You know how much air would be kicked out of you if that ever happened? Or she knew it was going to happen, so she took a deep breath. It's just, well, wait a second. I'm okay with either. It doesn't make any sense. That's just, again, number 2. Disney Trilogy Star Wars. Again, if you want to just go say, hey, you know what? It's canon. Fine. Each director had a different direction of where they wanted to take the entire series. J.J. Abrams tried to do something. He did a gift box, or the mystery box thing, where it's, something big is gonna happen. Something big is gonna happen. I'm gonna set it up for something. So he left, but if they were all shallow actions. For example, Rey's parents wanting to come back. They talked about it pretty much in the Last Jedi, but if you're going to be waiting for your parents on the planet, why would you leave? Oh, we need to leave. Why? Go away. I have more things to do or something. It's just this call to action that she completely forgets. It's like it was a shallow thing to have stated. If she just wanted to leave for adventure, fantastic. It would make the entire story better. It's not that she's waiting for her parents, but instead she doesn't have the means or the capital to get off the planet, and that's one thing that she's wanting or wishing upon the stars or something. That would have set Rey's character up phenomenally to leave, to join the rebels, to save the galaxy. That would be great. But her parents literally had nothing to do with anything. Oh, the worth of who I am. That doesn't matter. Okay, but again, if you say that's just, it's canon, fantastic. Let's just go with the one fact that I keep going to, but I can never finish. Each director had their own vision of where it was going, and they swished and swashed. They literally had mouthwash, swishing it around in their mouth and then spitting it into the next director's mouth, and then the swish and swash, spitting into back up into JJ's mouth to swish and swash it. It's disgusting. Well, let's go this way. No. Let's go this way. No. Let's do something different. Let's bring Palpatine back. Why? Oh, because the dark forces and stuff. Okay. You cannot say Palpatine can't come back because you've exploded him twice. Once into the Death Star when he was thrown into the space dump placed right below his throne. And then the second time, when the entire space station, the Death Star, blew up again. You can't say he can't come back from that, even though he was disintegrated on screen. No, he can come back. He can come back now. So what's the point? What's the point? It's such a shallow and hollow victory. Okay, that's enough. Hopefully I made a good example as to something bad can happen in a movie that retcons, that destroys the canon of the original, if it is to be canon. If it's not canon and instead official fan fiction, then there's many things and many directions at which you can go towards, and many things that you can bring up that may not be part of the original series, but can be a really good aspect that we can enjoy. Because within this new universe, this is what's happening. Maybe this is its own universe. It can be. Like DC has what I kind of have a disagreement with, but they explain it quite well, at least from some of the stories that I've followed. Some comic books, mostly animated DC movies. Excuse me, but and the not the Justice Lords. I'm trying to think of what the DC game was. Batman versus Superman, where Superman turns evil because Joker kills Lois Lane, and then Superman just becomes this tyrant, communism, etc. That story was phenomenal, but it's the multiverse. Having a multiverse, you have different stories, different Batmans. Well, I love that Batman is still Batman regardless of which universe you go into. That's phenomenal. That's fantastic. But you have different universes, different storylines, and different plots that can be created. This is what I would consider. I'm only on episode 3, and I've tried to reason and logic it, and I'm going to episode 4. I think I finished episode 4, and I'm going to be doing episode 5 today. But it's just, this one argument is so stupid. I've made 12 minutes of talking just because of this one quote. And I'm certain there's going to be somebody out there who's going to complain of like, well, it's whatever. And if it's whatever, fantastic. We can have Legend of Korra buttfuck one of the villains and be like, hey, yeah, take that, patriarchy. Be like, yeah, it's canon. What are you, fucking stupid? Hey, screen time, look, it means it's good. Hey guys, look, it's within the universe. Princess Leia comes out with a Tommy gun and puts on one of those 18th century hats or something. Dons a king's robe, pulls out a Tommy gun, puts on the queen's crown, and just starts firing bazookas out of her Tommy gun. So she's shooting bazookas out of her Tommy gun as ammunition. It's canon. Oh my gosh, if that's the argument you think is correct, wow. It's like, are you trying to justify retardedness? I think it literally makes you retarded if this is the argument you have. It's canon. What makes it canon? Well, it was created by them. Okay. If that's the example, what if they make a story where the Force was an imaginary concept and everybody was just dreaming it and they were inside the Matrix? Wow, that would be such great storytelling. Bullshit. Fucking hell, man. It's like, again, that would be an interesting fan fiction. It ain't canon. It's created by them. Yeah, and somebody creates something amazing at the age of 27. Well, at the age of 102, they might have a bit of a dementia problem. Guess what? Whatever they create may not be canon because it doesn't fit the story because they're fucking off their rocker. Oh my gosh, this argument is silly. Well, that's the end of that. I'm going to go through the entire thing and oh my gosh. Hello, future me. You've produced some really good content, but no, sir. No. And even at the very end, he says like, well, there's no explanation as to why my puppy versus my roommate's puppy. I have to go into that the same way. It's from the same litter. Mike's dog, I think his friend, if not his roommate. They have two different behaviors, but they're from the same parent. And I'm saying, yes, it's either nature versus nurture. If there's another factor that's at play, you can't just say it's a wonder of I don't know what it is, therefore let's just think about the wondrous things. What do you mean about the quote unquote wonder? Just because you don't know doesn't mean that it's actually you can explain it. He's using he's using a real world example to create a shallow thing that makes you feel really good of like, oh, the mystery of life. Yeah, to me, I have no idea how a seed is able to put down its. If you put a seed sideways, it'll grow. It'll put down its roots towards gravity, towards the earth, and it'll grow upwards towards the sun, towards the atmosphere. How does that happen? It's fascinating that can happen. I have no idea how that can happen, but still, how does it happen? There's certain properties that might actually explain it a little bit. You can't just say, oh, wonder. Because he's creating a narrative of, fabled narrative. He's creating a narrative to make you feel a certain way. Okay, that's it. That's it. I could keep going. I'm gonna keep going on this one. Thank you very much for being a part of this. Please post your comments, questions, and concerns right down below. Please smash that like and subscribe button because that would greatly help this channel out. And most importantly, go out and do wonders. Thank you very much for being a part of this, and I'll see you very soon. Bleep.